What is up, guys? Fair and Unfair here.
I am fair.
And I am Unfair. And today we're going to be going for the masses today. Going for the small people. Instead of playing a lot of really big creatures, we're going to be playing a lot of small ones. And if you couldn't figure it out, we're going to be playing elves today.
I just thought we were going green.
Pretty much the same thing, honestly. And since we're going to go into that, we're going to be playing a couple of really sweet cards, but we'll get into that into the deck tech. Until then, don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons. If you comment, let us know what you think we could be doing better, what decks you think would be really interesting to watch for next week. But let's go ahead and get into the deck tech. Alright, for the deck, it's pretty easy to go through. We got a couple of Mana Dorks in Land War Elves and Jaspera Sentinel, and so that way we can get up to our higher mana costs. But other than that, our main goal is to get as many elves on the battlefield as soon as possible, primarily focusing on Elvish Warmaster in order to make a lot of extra dudes, Elvish Clangcaller to make all of our dudes bigger, and then Elvish Archdruid to make all of our dudes bigger and get mana for it. Allosaurus Shepherd is able to make our dudes bigger as well as make them uncounterable. Collected Company allows us to play some extra dudes, and then Craterhoof Behemoth makes all of our dudes really, really big and swing for a lot. Everything else is kind of just a combination of a lot of smaller things in order to get to our high capacity of creatures. It's really, really basic. You get as much mana as possible, as many creatures on the battlefield as possible, and swing with an Alpha Strike or two. And that's usually how you play elves. But it'll be easier for us to show you rather than tell you, so let's go ahead and get into the game. Alright, so we are on the draw. However, we do have a Llanowar Elves into an Elvish Clangcaller or Archdruid if we decide we want to bolt into it. So this seems like a pretty alright keep, so we'll go ahead and run into this and see what we're running into. Our opponents are playing a Yorion deck. So there are a plethora of cards we could be playing against, so we don't want to put our shields down, supposing what our opponents are going against. So we're going to go ahead and start off with an Llanowar Elves off the top, which is usually the best turn one you can possibly have in this deck, because that does allow you to have a pretty consistent turn 2 3-drop or 2-drop into 1-drop. Which they're going to end up foretelling some things, and we drew a chorus, which is actually really good for us. So we're just going to go ahead and jam our Elvish Archdruid right now, because it does tap for a lot of extra mana, and it is a lord for all of the rest of our elves. So if we are able to get a decent amount of creatures on the battlefield, it will give us a lot of value in the very short term, let alone the long term. Then Maelstrom Pulsing kind of hurts, but it's not too terrible. Drawing the Elvish Clangcaller is actually kind of sweet, especially since they just played the Maelstrom Pulse, because that means we can just go ahead and play 2 Elvish Clangcallers in a row.
No, it seems fine.
Which gives us a pretty powerful board state right off the bat. So we already have 2, 4, 7 power on the board right now, just from that on turn 3, which seems pretty good to me. And if we draw any other Lord effect, we're going to be swinging for a lot. Collected Company is actually pretty good. I think it actually might be worth playing the Collected Company here before combat in order to get some extra Lords if possible. What do you think?
I'm always wary of a sweeper on the following turn.
If they are playing a sweeper, though, they are in black, green, blue, which means that it's probably going to be Extinction Event.
Languish is picking up steam also.
So what's your opinion on that?
So,
I think we go ahead and play this bolting in for regardless, right?
Yes, I think that you attack for 7 and pass turn.
Okay. And we can just play the Collected Company at the end of their turn, if they don't do anything better.
Like, they're forced to do something here, so if they hold up counter magic, you just wait and just untap and attack again.
I'm interested as to what this card in their Foretell pile is.
It's probably Behold the Multiverse. Just go ahead and do
Yeah, they're tapped out, so we go ahead and collect the company now. We get the Elvish Archdruid and Elvish Warmaster. And I think we get to kill them kill them. Yeah, they're dead on board now. So we just get to hit the attack all button, and they're dead. And once again, the most important thing is like an Alpha Strike or 2. We got to chip in some damage earlier, and that allows that to go through.
Fate Strikes.
Alright. Alright, and we brought in some Thought Seizes in order to avoid some board wipes, a Skemfar Avenger, and a couple of the Gargaroths in order to grind it out. This hand seems fine, we're able to do a lot with it, and we're going to go ahead and run it through like that. The Skemfar Avenger is really fantastic for if you're playing against a board wipe like Languish or something like that, to where you're able to get a lot of value off of your other elves. because it is any other non-token elf. So if you have like 3 or 4, you get to draw 4, and that's just a fantastic experience to be in. Our opponent isn't really doing anything with their mana right now. I think it's just safe to just jam the Realm Walker here and try to go through. It's either that. I think
you jam the Realm Walker. They either censor it or they play a Growth Spiral.
Yeah, it seems like they're very set on Growth Spiral based on their mana right now. But if they censor it, I think that's fine to be in too. But if the Realm Walker resolves and we cast even 1 card off of it, it ends up giving us so much value. Let alone 2 or 3, because this card right here is a secret all-star for the deck. Being able to protect all of your dudes is really good. Or not protect, sorry. Being able to play a lot of extra dudes from the top of your library is really good, because the fact that you're able to get a lot of extra value off of those cards. They take the Claim Caller because of the fact that it's a Lord effect. And that's fine. I think we just go ahead and jam the Elvish War Master into the Scumfar Avenger and swing for 2 here. We could also,
I guess that does.
We could also just jam the War Master into the Visionary.
I kind of like War Master Visionary.
Yeah, that way we're able to get the extra value off of the Realm Walker, and Collected Company on top of our library is really good too. Elvish Archdruid is also just a really good card. I'm going to set a stop on our upkeep. If they don't do anything to affect us, we might want to play Collected Company on our upkeep while we know the Archdruid is on top. What do you think about that? Because the fact that we know we would at least get an Archdruid out of it. Well, that changes a lot of things. The Llanowar Elves is still on top of our library, though. How do you feel about playing the Collected Company now? I really like it. Because we know we'll at least get an Archdruid out of it, which is one of the most important things we need off of it.
I guess they're down to 3 cards with the likeliness that they have another sweeper is probably low. Yeah,
let's try it. So we get an Archdruid and a War Master, probably?
Yeah.
And that is why we play Collected Company. It is just a very powerful card that is able to reinstate your board presence extremely effectively as soon as possible. If the opponents have another board wipe, we're in a bad position, but this is the type of deck that does fold to a board wipe pretty effectively. If you're playing against any type of blue-white or Jeskai control deck, it's assumed that you're probably going to end up losing anyway. I think we shock this in and attack with everything, because Elvish War Master can be pumped, right? Because that'll be 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, we can Archdruid, right?
Yeah. So do you just attack with everything aside from the Archdruid though?
I think you're correct.
Oh, so you can go ahead and play like the Avenger and Visionary, and then you have 7 up. You'll have 8 elves.
That's correct.
Have you played land yet?
We have not played a land yet.
Okay, make sure to thought these.
Get a possible board wipe out of their hand. Valky, eliminate Yorion, Nissa. The Yorion wouldn't do anything.
Get the eliminate.
So we get the eliminate. Okay, cool. For a second, I thought it missed.
So
targeted.
Archdruid.
Attack with everything but Archdruid.
I was gonna say you could maybe play the Warhammer also, but I guess it doesn't matter.
And they take lethal damage if I can do my math correctly. Yeah, that's lethal. And that is why the deck is so good.
Life has many elves, Conboy.
For those of you guys who were expecting a bit of a longer deck compared to last week, this is a very aggressive deck. Either you win or you lose it very quickly. If you want to play a very aggressive deck to get up on the ladder, this is a very good choice. Being able to attack very aggressively and build a very fast board state. It's similar to Goblins in that it wins or it loses very quickly. You can just keep on playing through games extremely quickly.
You'll definitely get a lot more matches in with this deck than you get in with Angels, that's for sure.
Exactly. And other than that, it's a very basic deck. If you enjoyed this video, as I said in the beginning, please feel free to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Tell us what we did wrong, what we should be playing next week. But until then, we would like to hear from you guys next week. Keep it soggy? I don't know.
Life's like a soggy waffle.
Life's like a soggy waffle. You never know what it's like, and it's always slightly disappointing until you play some Magic.
Now elf free.
We'll catch you guys again next week.